Long time. I know I put a random video of me singing a song I wrote when I was a kid. Yeah, if you notice, my voice has gone a bit, but it's getting back. If you heard it last week, well, you wouldn't have heard it. I couldn't speak for a couple of days, which is probably a relief to some. So anyway, how are you all? I hope you're okay. I know I've been going through a lot of stuff today. Later on, I'm having a procedure. Yeah. So, guys, the subject for today is UK schools. Is it just me, or has it all, it's done, it's over? I don't want to say too much because I have one child still in a UK school, and I have to be careful what I say because trust me, I feel like saying a lot of stuff. But I have a teenager, and he's got to finish in there, but it's chaos. It is I don't know what happened to education. I don't know. I still think that some of these countries that are not as well off as, say, the UK are probably in a better standing for their education system. Honestly, I don't know, man. What happened to just learning like subjects and not having to deal with loads of crap? You know, like, I don't even want to say it because I'll probably get struck off. But, you know, they're so busy talking about, say, sex education, about, how do I say this without getting knocked off? Without, you know, the thing that is concerned with all the letters of the alphabet, you know, like they're so concerned with not offending that and talking about that. You're not even allowed to have an opinion. You're not even allowed to say, hey, this is not right. You can't. You can't. I'm telling you, I don't know if you ever saw a film years ago called They Live, where the guy found these sunglasses and he put them on, and every time he put them on, he could see that the world had a completely different agenda than what was on the surface. And so all the advertising campaigns, everything was about, you know, was just dodgy, was completely dodgy. That's how this world has got. It's real. You know, we are in they live times, you know. Literally, I went to meet a teacher, a deputy head, and it's gone. It's done. I can't say completely like names and stuff, but I think this is a not worldwide. I can say just countrywide situation. The UK has fallen. London has fallen, the UK, the whole of the thing has fallen. Okay, we might be fortunate enough in certain areas to still have maybe one school, good school here, one good school here, there. Look, my son came home. I mean, I've been homeschooling for years, and this is why. So I know what I was kind of letting myself into. I know how the world has become and what's going to be inside there, right? You've got all the teachers walking around with pin dyes, walking around with certain flag colours around their keychains. You know, they're just like, they're weird. They're just weird. There's no discipline in the schools, right? That might sound like a good thing, but it's not, because you've got kids. I mean, I know the first week that my son was in the school, for example, like one of the kids just said to the maths teacher, "Shut up, man," you know, and it was like, what did she do? Jackal. She did nothing. And when I talked to her about it in parents' evening, she was, well, you see, we have to understand. They're all being taught from the top down a load of crap. We have to understand that, you know, they could be coming from problematic homes, so we have to be careful how we talk to them. And I'm just like, you see, this is a anyway. It's a problem. The world has gone mad. It's not only this country, I guess. Some countries are just further behind. Thank God for them. But, you know, like, it's all catching up with the same rubbish. You know, it's like, who remembers Barbara Woodhouse? Is it Barbara Woodhouse? Yeah, Barbara Woodhouse, who used to train dogs. Sit-ta! You know, and she had the choke chain. Now it's cruel to have a choke chain. No, the dogs take you for a walk. You walk around and you look at all these staffs taking their owners for a walk. No, it'd be very cruel to put a choke chain because, you know, like, that might hurt them. Well, guess what? If you, like, quickly give them a little tug a couple of times, guess what? You won't have much training to do because they will behave themselves and they will be under manners and they will not be walking you. You will be walking them. They will not be attacking other people because they will not be trying to run away and do what they want. Honestly, The world's gone crazy. Now you can't discipline the children. You can't even tell them anything. God forbid. God forbid you say to them, do you know what? Get the heck out of the class. If you want to be a class clown, go and stand in the corridor and face the wall. How about that? Even today when I was talking to the woman, she said, we do you know what, she turned to my son, she said, do you know what type of background, do you know his family life, the boy they were talking about, do you know what sorry to say, but do I care? I mean, do you know what kind of family life my son has? You don't actually care. God forbid you say something homophobic, but if you say suck your mother, which was said to my son, that's okay. That's all right. Well, I mean, they'll deal with it, delicately. All this delicate. Boys will be boys, because it's a boys' school. Really? These boys, they are exploiting this loophole of stupidness that is long time crept into schools. That's why we don't have good doctors anymore and good anything, because the world has changed. We are the only ones who are making it into fields like that really are the private school people. The people who've got the money. I'm always talking about the money, okay, but it's true. People who've got the money, who can send their kids to schools where the teachers have actually got some balls and are actually getting paid some decent money. They can teach your kids. And they may then go on to college and university and do their medical degrees and stuff like that. But these kids in these state schools, you know what? It's just going to be one in a million that gets through. I can't see it. They've got no behavior. They're just today, like, I made the mistake in the meeting of saying, because some of these twits, and she said, I'd be careful about using that language about our students. Really? Do you know what I mean? It's like, really? It's like once when I was my son came home and he said to me, like, Mum, every time I keep going in the toilet, because even though I homeschooled for years, one of my sons, he had gone back to school at the age of, I think it was like 15 or something like that. And he was having to deal with the gender neutral toilets, right? And he would go in the normal boys' toilet and be, and he would have a problem with this girl who said she's identifying as a boy now coming in the toilet, because he felt like really, really uncomfortable with the fact that, for obvious reasons, and then I had to have this big Twilight Zone talk with a headmaster at the time who started saying, look, we care about these kids. We care about these kids. I'm sorry. And I thought to myself, no, you don't. You don't care about these kids, man. All you care about is Stonewall and all these things. All you care about is agendas. All you care about is cutting off people's bits and pieces, young people's bits and pieces, before they really have a chance to develop and understand how they feel. No one's really giving them the proper guidance and the therapy that they might need because of whatever's going on in their life. You're so quick to jump to, oh, is you feeling like that? Okay, you identify as a filing cabinet? Cool, let's make you one. Come on, man. What's happening? I don't know. It's troubling. It's troubling. That's all I'm saying. So I went into a meeting today and I said, I had to use all this buzz trigger words that they use. I had to play along because, trust me, I felt like I had those glasses on. They live, trust me. All I could see in front of me was two women. They're gone. They're out of space. They're in some other planet and I'm still here, and it's like a living nightmare. And I have to play along, knowing that if I say something this way, she's going to grab me on this, and I have to play along. So in the end, I said, look, all I'm here to make sure that happens is that my child is being safeguarded. They love that word. It's lovely. Is being safeguarded and able to study in this environment, because otherwise I don't understand what the point is in him actually coming to school when it's chaos, when the teachers can't get control of the classroom. I mean, that's all I'm saying, I had to keep my wits about me because she was being very formal. Her eyes were very pinned, as if she was on something, I'll be honest. And she was very efficient and spoke like this. Well, I'm sorry, but, you do need to be careful with the words you choose and all this crap. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm done. The UK it's so done. So, guys, put it in the comments. What do you think? Do you think I'm like, I don't know. Just before I stopped really releasing a lot of videos because, I just ran out of energy. And you know, I thought to myself, what's the point in this world? In many areas, I've got some stuff going on, as you know, from when I've updated. But anyway, like, for example, before I stopped posting, I lost a subscriber who I was actually bantering with sometimes, even during some of my videos. But the reason I lost that subscriber is because in the comments I answered back, you know, that my children, although I have a very complicated thing going on in my life right now, and I don't need to explain that to you right now, and maybe one time I will, but my kids, who are older now, are actually mixed parentage. And the minute I said that, he said he's unsubscribing. First of all, he said he was unsubscribing if I ever went to Jamaica again to visit. And secondly, he was definitely unsubscribed once he found out that my children were actually mixed parentage, which I can't apologize for. I understand we all have our views and everybody's entitled to them, and I get it. Do you know, like, I had a very, look, I've told you about my father is from Israel, my mum's English. I've got a lot going on there. My father, you know, he was a criminal, and he used to take me on stealing escapades. You know, I used to go shoplifting with him. But he was racist, you know, and I grew up with that. So I understand it, because I understand that sometimes different people groups can be, annoying and to particular races for whatever reason. And some people are just not used to other nationalities or races. And I get that. I really do. Honestly, I was not, for my Israeli side of the family, for example, I was not Israeli enough. You know, we didn't fit in. I was not Jewish enough to even go to a Jewish hostel, even though my dad was fully Israeli. And I was not, and for my English side of my family, you know, my mother married a foreigner. So we were like the black sheep. We just didn't have it good from day one, plus loads of other crap and trauma. But anyway, listen guys, I'm going to try and end on a positive note. Actually, what is the positive? The positive is that we woke up this morning and we're still breathing, right? I don't know. Is that positive? I think it is. I hope it is. Anyway, the point is, please like, subscribe, share, anything you like about it, anything you don't like about when I talk about stuff. If you think I'm annoying, and I lost a subscriber the minute I actually put on my song recently. Maybe because people thought I'd never signed up for some random girl singing a song with no music, no backing, nothing, and, you know, just singing it raw like that. You know, I was just doing that because I felt like doing that. And it's a song I wrote, like I said, when I was a kid, and it was very deep and a traumatizing song in a way, about a very adult themed song, and you'd wonder where a kid would get that kind of mentality from. Anyway, that's another story. But if it offended somebody straight away, clearly because somebody dropped off, and I do notice these things because I don't have a lot of subscribers, which is the way it can go for years. It's fine. But anyway, guys, I'll see you soon, and we'll catch up. Yeah? Bye.